Hello, fellow Cybertronians. This is MegaGinge, Ginger Transformer. We finished all the Marvel comic stuff now. Well, Marvel collected comic stuff, UK stuff. And I thought I'd have a break from all the continuous one into the other, into the other. It's a few separate episodes. So this one, after saying that, it's technically a part two. There was a video I made a while back. It was obscure Transformers. Now, a few people did get back to me with other ones that I hadn't heard of, so I had to double check they were definitely obscure Generation 1 Transformers, most of which I had to research myself again, because it was people who got in contact with me on the Insta page, because there were more than a few, let's just say, not nice comments on the YouTube video itself. Now I can take people having a go at me. I can take people like ripping into me if you know. I can take all that kind of stuff. But if people start basically comparing you to a kiddie fiddler because you're a collector, I mean, what why even watching? Why even watch one of these videos if that's your mindset? I mean, and if that's your mindset, I'm thinking that maybe you should be talking to someone, you know. So so yeah, we had to turn the comments off on that video, um, because there's being a dick, then there's being a dick, you know. There's like just there's an asshole, then there's you know you try to accuse someone of that shit, and that's not on. It's not. So the comment, even though I'd said please say in the comments below, I couldn't imagine that anyone would have said something like that just because I'm a collector of Transformers. I know dozens of collectors on my page. I talk to them, and I don't ever think once, dude's a fucking kiddie fiddler because he bought a Megatron, or with the latest controversy back in the day, he's a mass shooter because buys a Megatron that's got gun modes, and I don't think that kind of shit. I don't take that kind of shit on people's stuff. It's horrible. So yeah, people had no choice but to get a hold of me on the page. They would ask why the comments were turned off. I would tell them why. They agreed with me. It was a bit extreme. So yeah, turn the comments off. And these little sicko bastards. And then they would give me the suggestions on the actual Ginger Transformer Instagram page. So I have a small list of them. And it is only a small list because let's face it, with everyone that Hasbro brings out these days, there's very little that's obscure anymore. There's very few out there that no one's at least heard of in one way, shape, or form. Even if it wasn't on G1, even if it was on like another series, like in the Unicron trilogy or RID or something like that, or even in a Bayverse movie. Yeah, so this is basically part two of that. I apologize it's taking so long. Ironically, that's one of my most one of the most viewed videos I have. The first one of this, it was like last I checked, it was like some 400 views. That's the high that's the highest I've had. I think it was because of the controversy. I mean, if it gets me views, be controversial, but there's a limit to what I'll do. And as you've seen by my previous videos and any videos where I've ranted about stuff, I don't have a lot of limits. Okay, I don't. But accusing someone of that shit just because they're a collector and just because because they know this stuff they grew up with, that's a bit much, and it really says more about the person who said its mindset than the person on the video talking. So without further ado, I'll get to the list. One that was mentioned to me, two that were mentioned to me. No one asked for a mention, so I'm not going to mention who mentioned these to me. So if anyone mentioned, if they said to me, listen, can you like the reflector files, for example, if they wanted to mention, I'd give them a mention, but no one said please put me in this, and it's a video, so on YouTube, so I can't tag them, so I don't think I can. It's an Instagram thing. So these were mentioned. FYI, Reflector Files is a good page, by the way. If you're on Instagram, you're a Transformers fan, should give a view. Decepticons, Loud Pedal, and Oil Slick. Now, apparently, Loud Pedal, like I say, they're obscure, but because Hasbro brings shit out, Oil Slick doesn't have a new mold yet. It hasn't had any sort of love. Loud Pedal had a masterpiece toy a while back, and I was quite surprised at that because it's like if you're going to bring out one, why not bring out the other? They're like a duo, you know. I mean, Loud Pedal was used the masterpiece tracks. It was used for Loud Pedal, and it could have very easily had a generations or legacy tracks or whatever used for a toy for that. Oil Slick is apparently basically an evil version of Ratchet, so you can just easily use the Ratchet mold, you know. Autobot Playback. He's the Tower Guard in the Generation 1 episode Fight or Flee. The one who eventually gets Cyclonus throws him into the screen and you see his legs kicking out going, help, help, because he's like jammed in a screen. Apparently, there's a rumour about a toy release for that. But as of now, when I'm making this, there's been no confirmation. So I'm not going to say one way or another. But if that's the case, I will buy it because you know, I've got a lifeline. So someone else from Paradron would be quite good to have, you know. Decepticon, GoBot, in brackets here, Crash Test. Not really sure who that was. I did the research for this like weeks ago when I started doing the videos again. Like I think it was the Space Pirates. So you know, probably should have done more research. But you know, apparently he's not had any either. And let's face it, we could use more obscure characters. So lists like this wouldn't need to be done. Take note, Hasbro. The Decepticon Six Changer, Kill Switch / Hexadecimal. Now this is real. I checked this. This was weird, but I don't know why it's two names. But another Six Changer, I wouldn't say no to that. I enjoy having Six Changers. There's not enough Six Changers. Oh, but Action Master Power Flash, I added myself because I used to have that Action Master. It was very obvious his alt mode was like some sort of human jet because he had the jet nose cone protruding out the front of his chest, But I quite liked him. He had a little red rifle and he had one of these, it was like a little transformer that hooked up to his back and the part of it went over his head, like a targeting system kind of thing, I assume. Increased his power. I don't know. I mean, he's been. I think he's been in a comic. Yeah, I think he was in some of the Wings stuff, Botcon Wings stuff. But yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see him. There's been nothing there, unfortunately. Autobot Scrounge. I added this one myself again. Scrounge. He was in like one comic, US comic back in the day, like from the original run. He was like a friend of Blaster's. Well, he was a friend of Blaster's after he died, and Blaster felt guilty. Until then, he was an annoyance. I think it was Unique Fingers or some bollocks. But yeah, he's been in the comics, and they had a toy out. If you bought the Hasbro version of Computron for Combiner Wars, you got him with it. I got the Takara version, did not get him, so I bought him separately. So, but yeah, I've got him. It's quite a nice little toy. Redeco of Cosmos. Autobot Ironclad. He's not been brought out before. Not in the comics or anything, as far as I'm aware. It says near brackets, dude's a boxer. This is how the message was. The dude's a boxer. I had to look up, and yes, he is actually a boxer, and he's an Autobot. It's like you'd assume anyone who was a boxer would have joined the Decepticons, but hey, it's good to know that some of the Autobots got some fighters, Autobot Action Master Partner Tyrannotron. Don't know anything about this one, like at all. Like I said, this is a list of obscurities, Only a few of these seem to have seen either the pages of a comic or had a toy made. Like I said, if I'm honest, I'm surprised that some of them have had it done. So, Decepticon Exhaust. This was messaged to me, but I'll be honest. Decepticon Exhaust. He doesn't have a big following, but he's been out there. He's been a proper toy. He's been a masterpiece toy. He was in TV. He was in one of the series, War for Cybertron series. I think it was Earthrise. I think he was in that. He was a mercenary, but he didn't look like him. He just basically looked like an evil version of Wheeljack. Yeah, that's what it says here. Yes, second series of War for Cybertron, Earthrise. Yeah, and it turns out he's also got a character in the game Transformers Earth Wars. He's also in that as well. So not as obscure as probably when I got this list made. I'm trying to wonder why that's on there, if I'm completely honest, because he's had a toy, he's had a masterpiece, he's been in a TV show, and he's in a game. If you don't know who Exhaust is at this point, but if you didn't know, there you go. Finally, this, like I say, this list isn't as big as the first one because, like I said, there's not as many obscure ones anymore. Decepticon Fumes, who apparently had bit parts in the Dreamwave comics. The Dreamwave comics, they didn't last long, couple of years, then they pretty much died off. Maybe a couple has been a bit, 3 or 4 years, a few years. But yeah, apparently a bit parts in the Dreamwave comics. Didn't say what ones, because Dreamwave did like your War Within stuff, your Generation 1 continuity, Micromasters, even Armada and Energon, So it could have been any of them. But yeah, apparently Decepticon Fumes. So yeah, but like I said, this list was not anywhere near as big as the original, mainly for the fact that Hasbro, as much as I'll put the boot in about no throttle bots, as much as I put the bin about that, yes, they have been bringing out more obscure stuff. They brought out another Straxus, a comic book edition. They brought out a 2-pack Flaming Zaron, recently mentioned for the City of Fear video there. They brought out a 2-pack of that. Well, it really depends if you know who the other Decepticon Insecticons are. You get your, I think it was Barrage, Chop Shop, and some little hammer guy that transformed into a Minotaur or something, and a Doom and Destruction 3-pack. I have none of these packs, by the way, and I am very, very, very upset that I never got my hands on them because, well, I already have one Insecticon Ransack. He's sitting there by himself. I couldn't get his brothers for him. And the other two I like collecting in that bring out of like Marvel comics. Like Hopper, Chameleon, McCaber, hell, I think there was even a character for Macadam, for old Macadam's oil bar, or whatever it was, and Fang and several other like made for UK comic characters. I don't think the series is done. They brought out a Shockwave, and then they brought out a Grimlock, complete with crown, and then they brought out Straxus. I can never remember if I'm saying that right. And yeah, Emirate Zaron and Flame. It doesn't look like that's the end of it. I'm hoping it's not. But I like my more obscure characters. It's just, I mean, on that list or the other list, if they brought any of them out, I would probably buy them. We'll see if any of them end up as another kind of Siege Megatron redeco, because I won't buy it. If that's the case, no. Is it too much? But anyway, I'm not going down that road again. You probably saw my ranting video. If anything's made to the end of the video, you're probably still recovering from it. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see what video I do next time. Like I said, right now it's just one-off shots, no big continuous ones. Once again, if you get any ideas for a video, any questions you want answered, and you can resist the urge to call me a kiddie fiddler just because I made a fucking video about Transformers, please feel free to put it in the comments. Be kind. See if you're not into all this stuff, move on. Just don't like the video, or just kind of go away. I don't go on to other people's stuff and say, hey, you collect Lego, you're a fucking nonce. I don't do it. People have their own collections, their own stuff. I mean, you might just call me an asshole. Fine. I haven't called that many times in my life. But certain things, like I said, I won't accept on this or on the parent company, Ginger Media, because there's a lot of people who come under that. And, you try to tar one of us with that kind of brush, you probably end up tarring all of us with the same brush. And, we collect what we collect, we like what we like. Doesn't mean we're out there looking for little kids, It's a no-go. I mean, let's face it, if I found out that someone I knew was a frigging kiddie fiddler, I'd be the first one in line to beat the shit out of them. So, but anyway, yeah, end of that video. And like I say, if you have any ideas for the next video, if you want to have a look-see, please mention it in the comments below. More likely I'll have my own random crap to talk about again. More likely in the next few weeks, something will drop that'll piss me off, so probably another ranting video. But until then, roll out, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.